Squad Cars. General Motors and their dealer organization throughout Southern Africa proudly bring you the drama, the danger, the thrills, and the facts when the long arm of the law travels in Squad Cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from the official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved.
Johannesburg, February the 21st, 8:16 p.m. At South African Police Radio Headquarters at Brixton, a steady flood of telephone calls pours into the 5 operators in the nerve center. Burglary, street fighting, handbag snatching, assault, suspicious loitering, a smash and grab in the city center, wife beating in Fordsburg. The messages are taken and passed on to the radio control booths. Cars, patrol vans, and motorcycle squadmen are sent to the addresses concerned. This is the regular chant of the city's crime, the pulse of controlled lawlessness. The routine is the same. Number 3 phone shrills sharply.
Flying squad, Constable Marie speaking.
Hello, is that 3-0? Is that the police?
Yeah, police here.
Listen, my daughter, they've taken my daughter.
Your name and address, please, sir.
You don't understand. You've got to send someone right away.
We will, sir. Your name and address,
You're
please.
wasting time, man. You don't understand.
We've got to know where to send the car, sir.
Oh.
Your name and address, please.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, my name is Hines, George Hines. 14 Terence Road, Kensington. Please hurry. They've taken Susan.
Your daughter's age, sir?
She's 16.
And you say she's been removed from her home without your permission, sir?
Yes, I don't know if she went willingly or not, but
well, that doesn't matter, sir. We'll send a car around right away.
8:18 p.m. Car 31, manned by Sergeant Nico Pienaar and Constable Peter Main, is dispatched to 14 Terence Road, Kensington, to investigate the complaint.
Your daughter is still a minor, sir. Whether or not she went willingly is beside the point. Legally, anyone who removes your daughter without your consent is guilty of abduction.
I see. I don't know. She must have wanted to go. My wife checked in her bedroom. Susan took a small suitcase and some clothes. But she's still a schoolgirl. She doesn't know her own mind.
Have you any idea who might have been responsible, sir?
Yes, of course I know. That so-called boyfriend of hers. I told Susan she wasn't to go on seeing him, and she promised she'd stop. But now I know different. She's been seeing him, all right.
And his boyfriend's name, sir?
Fenter. Johnny Fenter, if that's his real name. A no-good bit of rubbish he is. I took one look at him and, well, I knew the sort he was. Long sideburns, flashy clothes, sort of greasy-looking, you know what I mean?
How old is he?
Too old for Susan, that's for sure. Oh, he's about, I don't know, 25, 26, something like that.
His occupation?
He says he's a bricklayer, but he seems to be on the loose most of the time. I don't think he's got a job.
His address?
I don't know. Susan said he stayed in the southern suburbs somewhere.
How do you know he's the one responsible for the abduction?
Well, Susan's been hanging out around the Greek shop on the corner after school. She and some school friends of hers go down there and drink cool drinks and look at those photo story books. Fenter picked her up there this evening.
You checked on this, sir?
Of course I did. When she didn't come home for supper, we started without her. Wouldn't be the first time she's missed a meal. I don't know what's got into her, Sergeant, this wild streak of hers. She doesn't get that from me or her mother, I can tell you. Disobedient, staying out late, thumbing her nose at us. She's been missing a lot of school lately, too. That Fenter's influence, you can be sure of it. Well, anyway, about 7 or 7:15, my wife started phoning her school friends. And one of them said they'd been at the Greek shop, but she'd left Susan there when she went home for a supper. Well, I went down there myself and I spoke to the owner. He said he'd seen Susan leaving the shop and getting into a car with Fenter and another man. He said he wouldn't have noticed it, except Susan was looking jumpy and scared. When Fenter came into the shop, she just about ran out with him in it.
I see. Did he happen to notice what kind of car it was?
Yes, he did. 2-tone green Buccaneer, Joburg registration. But he didn't get the number. He said the car pulled away too fast.
Was it Fenter's car? Have you seen him driving one like that before?
No, never. Oh, he only came round here twice. Oh, about a month ago, before I told Susan to stop seeing him. And both those times he had different cars.
Can you give us a description of him?
Well, I told you, sort of greasy-looking, flashy dresser, long sideburns. His hair's dark brown, and he's about 5'8", I suppose. Weedy-looking, on the thin side. Expect he weighs about 130 or so. Greenish eyes, I think, or maybe blue. Could even be grey. I didn't pay much attention at the time.
You don't know who the other man in the car was?
No. I asked the Greek about him, but he said he didn't get a good look. Fender was driving, and Susan got in the front seat. The other man was in the back.
All right, Mr. Hines. We'll put out an alert on this man. And don't worry, we'll get your daughter back to you.
8:29 p.m. Sergeant Pienaar radios in a brief report on the abduction, plus a description of Fenter and the car in which he was last seen. A detailed description of Susan Hines is given, and a list of the clothes which she's taken with her. The machinery of the law clicks into motion. An all-car alert is broadcast, and a check request is sent down to the night staff of the records department. Within minutes, detailed information on Fenter, his home address, physical description, known criminal record and known associates is on its way to Brigadier Dalton Kemp, in charge of the squad handling such cases. The Brigadier swiftly assesses the situation, and his finger jabs at the dial of a telephone.
Radio headquarters, Captain Dupasani speaking.
Brigadier Kemp here. I've got a report here, radioed in by Sergeant Pienaar in car 31. Abduction case. We've got a file on one of the men believed responsible for it. He's got a record for car theft, among other things. Have you got the list of stolen cars with you?
Yes, Brigadier. Right in front of me, sir.
Check on a Buccaneer, Captain. Late model, two-tone green. Probably stolen sometime late this afternoon or early this evening.
Just a minute, please, sir. I'm checking the list right now. Yes, here we are, sir. A 1967 two-tone green Buccaneer stolen from a parking bay in Nugget Street between 5 and 6 o'clock this evening, sir. Registration number TJ212119.
TJ212119. Right. Can you link me with radio contact to car 31?
I'll organize it immediately, sir.
The highly complicated radio setup operating from Brixton Radio Headquarters is designed to cater to emergencies of this nature. Immediately, radio contact between radio control, car 31, and the transmitter receiver in Brigadier Kemp's office at Commissioner Street Headquarters is established.
Control to car 3131. Come in, over.
Car 31, receiving your control, over.
Stand by. Brigadier Kemp wants to contact you. Control to Brigadier Kemp. Come in, please. Over.
This is Brigadier Kemp. Records Department has supplied us with details on the suspect in your abduction case, Sergeant. John Conrad Fenter, age 27, weight 132 pounds, height 5'8", dark brown hair brushed back from forehead, long sideburns. Record of 2 cases of car theft, 1 suspected armed robbery, 1 assault with a dangerous weapon. 2 convictions, has served sentences at Pretoria Central, Cape Town and Paarl. Has been in the company of David Charles Marshall in various Boysons and Troyable bars. Home address 36 Mulder Road, Boysons. Repeat, 36 Mulder Road, Boysons. If this is the man we want, he's probably responsible for a car theft this evening. Two-tone green Buccaneer, TJ212119. Repeat, 212119. I haven't got a description on Marshall yet, but that should be enough for you. We've put out an all-car alert on Fenter and the girl. You're the nearest car to Fenter's home address. Check it, please. Over.
Message received, sir. Over and out.
9:12 p.m. Car 31 races to Boysons and pulls up at number 36 Mulder Street. Sergeant Pienaar and Constable Main question suspect Fenter's mother, who informs them that her son hasn't been home in several days. She has no idea as to his present whereabouts. At exactly the same time, a car speeds down N Street Extension heading past Kazerny Station towards the Heidelberg Road. The car is a 67 two-tone green Buccaneer, driven by John Fenter, with Susan Hines and David Marshall as passengers. David Charles Marshall, 29, 5'10", 151 pounds, green eyes, blonde hair, record of housebreaking and theft, armed robbery and assault with a dangerous weapon. He leans forward on the back seat of the car, folds his arms on the back of the front seat, and smiles as he watches the speedometer needle flicker on the 90 mark.
Sweet, Johnny. You handle her like a dream, man.
Faster, Johnny, faster. Come on, you can hit a ton easy.
You want a ton, baby? You'll get it. We picked the right car for it, eh, Dave?
Yeah.
All the guts in the world.
Hey, watch it, man. Watch it. That O up ahead looks like he's pulling out.
Hey, he's a nut, man. What's the matter? Why doesn't he look in his mirror? Get out of the way, man! Come on, move it, you nut! Move it!
He must have got a fright. Did you see his face, Dave?
Yeah, white as a sheet, hanging onto his wheel with both hands. He mustn't try and dice with us, eh?
He can only go one way, that's for sure. I'll take on anyone now.
That's a sharp corner coming up, Johnny. You're going too fast.
Just watch me, baby. I know how to handle this motor, eh?
Hey, man, Johnny, you should have been a racing driver.
It's never too late, baby. Never too late. How about this?
Hey, Johnny, man, Johnny. We've got some company, man.
Hey, what do you mean?
There's a cop on his iron coming up behind us. One of those new blokes on the Jap irons, you know?
Oh, yeah, I can see him now in the mirror.
Well, what are you slowing for, man? Move it!
Hey, don't be mad, Dave. If we get away from him, he'll just radio our number. And every cop in the country will know where we are. I want him to catch up.
Ach, man, you're crazy!
Forget it. He needs both hands to handle that iron. He can't use the radio like that, man.
He's coming up fast, Johnny. What are you going to do?
You watch me, baby. You just watch me.
He's right on your tail now, man. He's pulling level.
Okay, cop, you asked for this. Happy landings!
Johnny! You swung into him.
What?
He's crashed back there.
That was the idea, Doc.
You must have killed him.
Johnny,
That's right. That's just the way I'll handle anyone who gets in my way.
Johannesburg, February the 22nd, 11:10 a.m. In the Commissioner Street office of Brigadier Kemp, several police officers have gathered for an emergency briefing. The Brigadier's face is drawn and strained from the lack of sleep the previous night. The harsh morning sun casts angular shadows, throwing the faces of the men into sharp definition.
Two things, gentlemen. First, a report from the hospital. Constable Marais is still in a critical condition, but he insisted on dictating a report on last night's happenings. He spotted a two-tone green car that looked like a buccaneer heading south on the Heidelberg Road. He gave chase and identified the car as the stolen vehicle in question. The car slowed down and then, as he drew alongside, deliberately swerved into him. There can be no doubt about that. He saw the driver swing the wheel. Constable Marais lost control of his machine and was thrown to the side of the road. He only regained consciousness several hours later.
What was the extent of his injury, sir?
Both arms and one leg broken. 3 broken ribs. Suspected fracture of the hip. Multiple abrasions. If he hadn't been wearing a crash helmet, his skull would have been split open. As it is, he's certainly been concussed. He was operated on this morning. We'll have to wait for him to come round again before the doctors issue another bulletin on his condition.
What are his chances, sir?
Not good. At best, 60-40 against his recovery. And I need hardly remind you, gentlemen, that that was a deliberate attempt to kill him.
Any results from the roadblock, sir?
Negative. We know that Venter has spent several holidays in Durban. We also know a lot of the people he's been mixing with down there. It seemed logical to assume that he would head in that direction again. And the fact that he was on the Heidelberg Road late last night confirms that. Roadblocks were set up just after Heidelberg, before the Free State turnoff. But that was only at 9:45. Constable Marais spotted the car at about 9:15, and he says they were traveling extremely fast. It's possible that they beat us to it. And in the light of the second item, we must assume that they did so. The second item is this. A two-tone green Buccaneer was found abandoned in Durban early this morning. The license plates had been removed. But there's no doubt in my mind that this is the stolen car. In that case, the people we want are almost certainly hiding out in Durban.
February the 22nd, 2:30 p.m. A general alert has gone out in Durban for Venter, Marshall and Susan Hines. Descriptions have been telexed down from Johannesburg, and every policeman on duty is on the lookout for them. But at this precise time, a blue Meisterbahn sedan is moving at high speed past Ladysmith in Natal and making for the Orange Free State Road back to Johannesburg. The car is stolen. The occupants, Venter, Marshall and Hines. The car slows as it approaches a roadside garage and pulls up. Venter orders the garage attendant to fill the petrol tank.
Tank's full now, Johnny. 3 on 50.
But I thought you said we didn't have any money.
We haven't. The petrol's on the house stall. And he's going to donate a few rand to a needy cause. Us.
Yeah.
Check the oil, boss.
Yeah, do that, please. Now, there's a spanner on the floor, Dave. Use that. I'll keep him occupied on this side and you go down to the front, okay?
Okay, Johnny.
Dave, you won't kill him.
Relax, though, relax. I'll just put him to Dubai, eh? Okay, let's go.
How's the oil, Jack?
Looks like you need 1 pint, boss.
Hey? Let me look at that dipstick.
1 pint, boss. Maybe 2. You can see...
I got him, Johnny. He's out like a light.
Check his pockets. I'll clean out the money bag.
Right. Let's see. There's nothing in his pockets. Just his passbook.
Oh, it's okay, Dave. He's got 40 or 50 rand in notes. That'll do us. Come on, let's get out of here before another car comes. Shut the bonnet, man!
Okay, now let's get started. Get in, man!
Johnny, is the boy? Is he all right?
He's okay, kid, man. He's just knocked out. Come on, what are we waiting for?
Leaving the garage attendant lying unconscious behind them, the fugitive trio heads northwards, through the Orange Free State and back into Johannesburg. Venter believes this is the last place the police will concentrate on, in their unceasing search. But were Venter to tune into the radio police frequency, he'd certainly be due for a surprise.
It's been a long day. I'll sleep like a dog tonight.
Well, you'll have earned your sleep, Sergeant. You were up pretty late last night on this case.
Yeah. I thought we'd get lucky with the roadblocks. I wanted to be on the kill, but it was all just wasted time.
Control to car 3131. Come in. Over.
Car 31 receiving your control. Over.
Stand by for Brigadier Kemp. Over.
Sergeant Pinard, this is Brigadier Kemp. Listen, the Durban boys came back to us this afternoon. They say a blue Meisterbahn sedan was stolen less than 2 blocks from where they found the stolen Buccaneer. We've checked the engine number. It was the car we wanted. A couple of hours ago, there was a garage holdup just outside of Ladysmith. The petrol boy says 2 men were responsible. 2 men, with a young girl in the car with them. The car was a blue Meisterbahn. You got all that? Over.
Got it, sir. This is just what someone like Venter would think. Trying to throw us off the scent by heading back towards Johannesburg. Exactly how long ago was the hold-up, sir? Over.
Between 2 and 3 hours. If they're moving fast, they'll be approaching Johannesburg any time within the next hour. Probably come straight in on the Heidelberg Road again. We're setting up roadblocks again. I want your car patrolling down N Street Extension, just in case we need you. Over.
Message received, sir. Over and out.
Lulled by a false sense of security, the stolen car heads in fast towards Johannesburg. Venter is singing as he drives, swaying the car in time to the tune he sings. Susan Hines becomes more and more nervous as she watches the speedometer needle creep higher and higher on the dashboard.
Johnny, please. You're doing nearly 90.
So what? I can handle this heap. Me and Cassius Clay, we're the greatest, man.
But you're nearly going off the road each time you swing the wheel like that.
Forget it, doll. Ta-da, everything's under control.
No, man, do like she says, Johnny. I don't fancy winding up in a heap with this car for a tombstone, eh?
Man, you both got chicken livers inside you. Okay, so I'm slowing down, eh? You feel better now?
Thanks, Johnny.
We can't have the broad getting hysterical on us now, can we? Even if it's a lekker broad like yours.
Come on, doll. Sit closest to me. I don't like you all the way over there.
Okay, Johnny. This more like it?
Much better. That'll relax our Dave. Now, don't get jealous now, Dave,
Well, what for, man? I'll pick up my Sheila in Joburg tonight. We can have a whale, man.
Here, doll. You steer.
Oh.
You like that, eh?
Don't put your foot down, Johnny. You scare me.
And you love it, eh, kid? Now, that's it. Keep it nice and steady. Yeah. We'll make a driver of you yet, don't worry. Now, easy around this corner, eh? Easy. That's it.
Hey, Johnny, man, straight ahead. Something's up. All those cars pulled up on our side.
Yeah. This could be a roadblock. Just our flaming luck, isn't it? They're looking for somebody else and we drive slap into them. Move out of the way, doll. Let me handle this.
Slow down, Johnny.
Are you crazy? I'm not dropping into the cops' laps for a birthday present, baby.
But they're stopping all the cars, Johnny.
Yeah, but only on this side. The other side of the road's clear. We'll go past them on the right.
I can see them now, Johnny. 2 cops at the side of the road waving down the cars. And there's a patrol car parked over there on the right.
All right, hang on, you two. Here we go. Come on, you mother lovers! Get out of my way! Move!
They've seen us, Johnny, man. The cop's pulling out a gun.
I said get out of my way!
He's going to shoot!
Move, you dumb idiot! I'll get you out of the way!
You're skidding on the gravel, man!
You see him? You see that dumb clod jump out of the way?
They're shooting!
Ah, forget it, man, forget it. At this range with a revolver, they couldn't hit a battleship.
But the car, they'll be coming after us.
By the time they get started, we'll be a mile ahead and we'll stay ahead all the way.
Control to car 3131. Come in. Over.
31. Read your control. Over.
Suspect car crashed through roadblock outside Alberton. Heading towards Johannesburg now. Intercept. Blue Meisterbahn, Durban registration. 3 occupants. Over.
Message received, control. Over and out. That's it, Constable. Let's nail them.
Johnny, please! You're going too fast! You're gonna kill us!
Shut up! You think I want them to catch us?
Well, I've got news for you, chum. I can see that cop car coming up behind us now.
Eh? But they can't be, man. I'm doing over 100.
Then they must be doing more than a ton. Look, you've got to do something, Johnny, man. They'll close in from behind. They'll have other cars coming out from Joburg. We'll be jammed in the middle.
Hang on, look. There's a robot coming up by the mine compound there. We'll turn right and throw them off the trail. Now just hold tight. This is going to be a hang of a corner.
Slow down, man. You'll never take it.
I can't slow too much, man. I've got to keep some speed to outdistance them.
Johnny, the robot's going to change, man. And there's another cop car coming straight on the other way.
Oh, well, I can't slow down, man. We'll walk right into them. Hang on!
No, Johnny, no!
I can't hold it! I can't hold it! I'm losing control!
Constable, get him out. Get him out before the car goes up.
Johnny, talk to me, please. Oh, please.
Come on, miss. Come on. The joyride's over.
Slumped over the steering wheel, his chest caved in and both legs broken. David Charles Marshall sustained severe spinal injuries as he was thrown forward against the rear of the front seat. Flying glass lacerated the face of Susan Hines, leaving scars that she'd carry for the rest of her life. Both Fenter and Marshall later stood trial on charges of abduction, car theft, and robbery with violence. They were sentenced to 10 years imprisonment with hard labor. Susan Hines was bound over in the care of her parents.
They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting, in fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence. These men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars. Listen again next Friday evening to another authentic story in our dramatic South African police series, Squad Cars, brought to you by General Motors, makers of the biggest and most exciting range of cars, trucks, and commercial vehicles in the world. Cadillac, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Beaumont, Chevrolet, Opel, Holden, Vauxhall, Bedford, GMC, and Ranger, South Africa's own car.